Hey there, good morning. 6 a.m. I hope that everybody is awake and enjoying a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a juice. I know some of you are out there drinking juice. I heard that from a few people. So, as you start coming in, go ahead and just make yourself known, please, so that everybody knows that they're not alone on this. Go ahead, say hi. I'm a little bit more awake this morning than what I was yesterday, that's for sure. And today I was trying to figure out, what's the next thing to really discuss, what's the next most important thing, and I thought, oh, well, we should discuss our superpower and what that superpower is, and looking at the superpower, and what am I talking about when I say superpower? Superpower, I've already said it. I said it almost every single morning that I've done one of these, and I'm probably going to say it all month long. And I think that it's very fitting for the month of December, because when we look at the month of December, we look at, what is it? It's a time of joy. It's a time of happiness. It's, let me tell my computer not to clean it. So it's a time of joy, a time of happiness, and a time of belief. And, that is the superpower. And it's the power of belief. Norman Vincent Peale, if you are not familiar with one of his most famous quotes, was it Norman Vincent Peale? I don't know. It might not be Norman Vincent Peale. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't know if that's Norman Vincent Peale. Yes, I think it is, though. Norman Vincent Peale, or maybe it is, I'm trying to think. It might be Earl Nightingale. Okay, one of these two. You can look up the quote and get whoever said it. Google the quote. The quote is, "What a man can thinketh and believe he can achieve." And that quote really is about, number one, like what I was talking about yesterday, about the power of our thoughts, and then how we feel about it. And the feeling is a two-part thing, right? We got to find our joy, we got to find our happiness, the orgasm that I always talk about, going out and finding the orgasm. But the next thing is really your belief. Do you believe what you are saying that you desire? How much do you believe that you can have it? How much do you really desire it? So, the superpower has these two parts. You've got to really question the desire, but I want to focus in on the belief. And I think that the belief, if your desire is high enough, if you can pretty much taste it, like you can pick up your drink this morning and taste it, then you can, start to really tap into how you feel about it, and what is your belief around it. And here's the thing, a lot of beliefs that we have are all not even ours. We live with a bunch of borrowed beliefs, and how is that possible? It comes in our raising. It comes in. There's a lot of people jumping on, so please, everybody, you just pop in and say good morning or say hi. Let everybody else know that you're there. So, but there is a lot of times that this belief that we have that really is not ours. So, like, we run around in society and we get programmed from our government, from our school, from our parents, from our pastors, from our neighbors, from our grandmother, from our siblings, from TV, media programs. That's really probably the most out of everything. And it comes down to everything that we see popping up on Facebook. To, we all make the funny joke of, well, it's on Facebook, it must be true. But here's the thing, we actually do kind of act like, because we saw it here, we heard it here, that it is true. So I want you to start looking at the beliefs that you have, because a lot of the limiting beliefs that you have are not even yours. If you tap into your core, that's not even who you are. You probably don't have as limiting beliefs as what you think you do. But what you think about the most, what you feel about the most, is exactly what you're putting out to the world. And that is exactly what you're getting back. So if you are constantly told that you need to do this and you should do that. And then you have this belief of, only the ones who work the hardest, longest hours are going to ever achieve anything, but then you find yourself putting in 12, 14-hour days and barely making it. Is that belief really accurate for you? It's probably not. So just start looking at, every little thing that you claim, oh, I believe that, and ask yourself, is that true? Is that true that I really believe that? And then once you figure out exactly what your beliefs are, then um, then the next thing is that you really need to start to tap in and say, this is what I want. Here's my goal. Okay. So if this is your goal, whatever it is, let's say your goal is to get a cup of coffee this morning. Okay. I'll keep it simple. So your goal is, I'm going to get a cup of coffee this morning and I'm not going to have to make it. It's just going to appear. Well, if you really want that goal of that cup of coffee and it's going to appear in some magical way, right? Then what you want to do is you really want to, number one, you're going to taste it, you're going to feel it, what is your life like with this cup of coffee? Like just imagine, like you can pick up your coffee, you can just smell the coffee, you can taste the coffee, you're just like, oh, there's like this relaxing moment that happens when you first take that first couple of sips. That is the feeling that you have to get into. You have to actually experience your desire as though you already have it. And then you have to have this focus on it, like, oh, I really, really want that cup of coffee. A coffee, right? Oh, I'm just really wanting. But then you take it out of the want and into the already have. Because as long as you're wanting, you're putting out the scarcity mentality of I don't have. So the universe is actually saying, well, if you don't, you might want it, but it's not catching the want, it's catching the have, because you're more about the I don't have than the I already have. But as soon as you start experiencing it deep in your soul, which is as though you already have it, now you're actually having not just the mental belief, but you are having the energetic belief. And because we are all vibrational beings, energy, we're made out of energy at a deep cellular level. We're all the same, but then we're all operating at different frequencies, at different vibrations. And what we want is at this frequency, that frequency, all this other stuff. So it's our thoughts and our feelings that change our vibrational pool. And that is what you have to do. So if you're running around and you're thinking that you want something, but you're not really believing that you can have it. So here we get into worthiness. So you have to have worthiness. You have to actually believe that you deserve a cup of coffee, that you can have a cup of coffee, that you are worth a cup of coffee. I mean, I'm talking about anything here. I'm just using a cup of coffee. But it's amazing how once you start to really focus in on something and then start to feel it and feel good about it. And that is the trick, the number one trick. And I said this yesterday, and I even made that point of, if the last thing I talked about was about happiness and joy yesterday, and I even said that if you just ignored everything else and just focused in on being happy every single day, that would bring so much blessing into your life that you would be just shocked at all the good shit that would happen to you, because happiness is addictive, much like a smile is addictive. A legitimate smile, you can't help but smile back at somebody who's just happy. So if you really want more joy, more happiness, your desires to come into your life, you have to get excited about them. You have to let your face know. You have to let your heart know. You have to let your thoughts know. You have to let your body know. You have to let your voice know. You have to let every cell in your body know, and then you have to put it out. Because the universe, there's no fake it till you make it. You've actually got to get into the whole cellular structure of it, because the universe might be going, yeah, that's a nice game you're talking there, but you don't really believe it at a cellular level. You're not putting up a frequency for it yet. You are not attracting it to you yet. So it's all about that joy, that happiness, which comes from the thoughts you're thinking, the feelings you're feeling, the emotions you have around something. So, and then really focusing in on that belief, because the belief is vitally important program back there that your parents set in motion, or your church set in motion, or the media set in motion, or just life has taught you that this is the way it always is. You are now looking for that to be the way it is, and that's why you're getting it exactly the way it always has been, because you're looking for it to be exactly the way it always has been, even though you might be mouthing and saying, oh, I am thinking this, but you're not really truly being consciously aware for it to be some other way. You're not really believing that it can be some other way. You are looking at it just from, yeah, well, I really do want that, and I do believe that I can have it, and I'm really excited about getting it. But it's, it has never happened before. So start looking at the core of the issue, which is typically belief, and start asking yourself if, do I really feel like I'm worthy of this? Do I really believe that I can get this? And if I don't believe that I can get this, is that truly my belief? Now, is that true? And do I really feel that? And if it is true, then don't focus on that goal, because you're not ready for it. You are not ready to bring that goal into your life, that desire into your life. You cannot align belief-wise to it. You need to start smaller. Okay, so maybe if you can't believe that you can materialize coffee out of nowhere, that somebody's just going to magically pop in with maybe Starbucks in the world within the next hour or something, then maybe you need to make sure just to focus in on manifesting coffee beans, or manifesting a connection, a phone call, something that you have a little bit more belief in there, and start as small as you need to. Build on those small successes, because the more you can build on the small successes, the better off you're going to be able to believe that something bigger will happen, okay? And that's what you have to do. Otherwise, you're just not going to have a whole lot of success on it. So, anybody got anything to say on that? I know I got a few people on here, and I see a lot of hearts flying by and likes and all that good stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you. If you have any, I love to hear people's stories. If you've got anything to share on it, please do share it, because, like I said, we are in a month that belief is kind of we talk about, believing in Christ, believing in the birth of Jesus and the resurrection, all this great stuff for Christians out there, and in other faiths, we've got so much, and it's really a month that is focused more on thank you. It's really a month focused on miracles and making miracles. So start looking at the miracles that you want to bring into your life, and believing that you can have those miracles, because they are out there. And I'm gonna again, I suggest that really for anybody who's Course in Miracles, this book keeps coming up. I got it years ago when it first came out, read it, and I think it's time to reread it again. And I'm going to just suggest that anybody who's watching this, it's an intensive book. It's not one that you can just go through. And I actually have it right here. So, Course in Miracles. And it is by far one of the most powerful books. Marianne Williamson, and I believe I can't think of the man, anyways. Maybe not enough coffee. But to get that book and start reading through it, because everything that I have shared over the last 4 or 5 days, 5 days I guess now, of doing conscious coffee, and then I will probably continue to share over the month, really is based on A Course in Miracles and the teachings that run through all of our religions out there. This is not something that is for spiritual hoopla. It's scientifically backed. Quantum physics backs it. Scientists back it. There's a lot of great leaders in the world when you go back, and as I talk about like Norman Vincent Peale and Churchill and Andrew Carnegie, and and gosh, you look at the presidents right down to Abraham Lincoln. No matter where we go, the great men and women of the world who have been visionaries and game changers, and also the ones who have controlled everything in the world forever, basically, all practice these principles. And it is just the core is really about finding your orgasm, finding your happiness, that joy, living in a state of happiness, even when it is tough to live in a state of happiness. And I was discussing that yesterday or the day before, and how to do that. And then really finding what you want and believing that you can have it. And the trick there is that we're watching our thoughts and we're watching our hearts, and we're really paying. How do you feel about the government? How do I feel about the government? As far as I feel personally, I mean, that's like I think that the government is definitely, run by lots of people who are doing exactly this, except it's really in a control. If you look at it from a beehive perspective, we are being kept in worker bee mode, and that's why we're not taught the things that we should be being taught about manifestation, about creation, is because too many people actually figured out how powerful they were, and just how powerful our thoughts are, and really truly understood that we are worthy human beings and that we are the creators of our destiny, then more people would be standing up and standing up and standing up. And all of a sudden, the people that have always been in control, those few families out there who have controlled the world, controlled the oil, controlled the food, controlled the water, controlled government across the board, would no longer be as strong as they want to be, because there is a belief out there that success is based on genetics, and that's why certain bloodlines have always kept it within house, you could say. Because they believe that a genetic success is all about genetics, but it's not true. Success is a cellular thing. It is based on the frequency. We all have the same capability, the same power, and government took that, and that's why we have dumbing down of schools. That's why we have, less and less people are children today do not read. They recognize words, but they do not really read. And a lot of we're addicted to our phones, we're addicted to our laptops, we're addicted to a microwave society, and the more microwave we are, then the more we can't hold a frequency very long. And that's because we've been programmed to have everything go really, really fast, and we're hopping all over. So we've created this ADD, ADHD society. So how would you suggest people work to gain their power, or the belief around their power? It really comes back to the feeling good. You've got to focus in on the feeling good. Your power will come from finding your happiness and leaning into those spaces of love and looking at, gratitude and love. There's only two emotions truly, and it is love and fear. So everything else stems from every other emotion stems from either love or from fear. And looking at the way society has pretty much programmed us and stuff, we have been programmed into a state of fear, which is that scarcity mentality, which is the I'm not worthy mentality, which is I'm weak, I am a victim. It's just, I have no control over my life. But we all have control of our life. There's just a lot of people that have never been, and that have never even thought to have awareness. And unfortunately, those people are going to remain the worker bees. But we all have the opportunity. We do. But it is our decision. And when you come up, start reading the greats. And I'm not talking about you do have to watch who you read. There's a lot of bullshit out there. But if you read people like Napoleon Hill, like Norman Vincent Peale, lots of, I don't go and buy Trump's book on, because Trump didn't even write his own book. So don't buy Trump's book. He doesn't even know what's in his book. He hired a ghostwriter for it. A lot of people do hire ghostwriters, so that's why it's all bullshit, a lot of it. If you go back and you look to the turn of the century and you read some of the books that came out in the Great Depression in the 30s and in the 40s, there were some incredibly powerful books. And and back in the 60s, 70s, there were some records that came out, and yes, I know vinyl, but you can still access different things, and it really is get a hold of those things. You start paying attention to the people who, like A Course in Miracles. Yes, there's a Christian-based field, so if you're not into the followings of Jesus, you change it to universe, change it to creator, change it to whatever you need. The principles still remain the same. It doesn't matter what word we're putting there as far as the t-shirt goes, because the laws of the universe are the laws of the universe. And the way we can really get that belief and that power is to focus in on gratitude, focus in on love. And it's not just the love that we put out, it's the love that we have for self. So if you gain the power by learning how to love yourself, you gain the power by looking at everything in gratitude and going, I'm gonna go get this world. And not going, I feel attacked by the world. I feel this, I feel that. That's scarcity, negativity, victim mode. Start trying to catch yourself in victim mode so that you can put that spotlight on the victim mode and let it go. Because until you actually put awareness on something, you cannot get rid of it. You cannot forget about it. You cannot let it go unless you know that it's even there. So gaining awareness would be the number one principle. I don't know if that answers that, Addison. Let's see. I do confident. Yes, everybody can be more. It's not just about what you're doing. It's quite rarely things. My computer just wants to. Um, but it doesn't necessarily even matter what you want to what you're doing. It's you can make. I promise you this. That if you focus in, no matter if, like you say, that you do concrete work, whether you do concrete work, you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you're a small business owner, you're a stay-at-home parent, you are dead broke and trying to figure out how you're going to make the mortgage payment on the first. None of that really matters. The facts don't matter. The only thing that matters is your attitude. That is it. It's just about your attitude. Because 98% of you creating the life that you want, you having exactly what you want and making a change, because like I said over and over again, the universe likes speed. The universe does not like to fuck around. It wants you to have what you want. What you want wants you to. That is just a basic universal principle out there. And you're going to hear that from all the great teachers. All of this is just stolen. It's just learned over since I was 15. I've been reading and taking classes and studying and doing all this different stuff. So it's all just regurgitated knowledge that I have put into practice, and at different points in my life, I've put it into better practice. And then I've fallen down and been human and crashed and burned and beaten myself up. And now, I'm coming back into this, like, I know that I can really manifest some really good shit within about 2 days. And I know that because I do it consistently. And I'm just sharing what I do. And what I do happens to be what all the greats have taught through time. And the only reason I know that is because I've read it, I've studied it, I put it into practice, and I consistently know that I have to put the awareness on my blind spots and shine that light there and figure out what they are and let them go. And make sure that my belief is lined up, that my desire is lined up, and that I truly am living in a state of joy and happiness, no matter what that means. If I have to go to a different destination to go find that happiness, if I've got to go and just, watch who you associate with, if you're associating with a bunch of people who are drama, negative, Debbie Downer people out there, associating with the least possible amount of time that you can, because that's going to affect your frequency, and that you don't need. So get around positive people, get around people who are living the way you want to live, and are, really, it's the key is happiness. happiness and belief. Those are the two keys. And that does not matter who you are, what your financial picture is, what kind of job you have, where you live, what color your skin is, what your spiritual belief is. None of that matters. It doesn't matter what the government's doing. It doesn't matter what the economy is doing. It doesn't matter what the weather's doing. None of it matters. The facts do not matter if you are lined up with your attitude properly, with frequency properly. And if you're not feeling good, then that is your internal GPS system telling you that you're not in alignment to your desire. So if you have a desire and when you think about it, you actually go, I just don't, it causes me anxiety, it causes me frustration, I feel sad, I feel this, I feel that. If you are operating on the lower spectrum and the emotions, when you start to if you close your eyes and you think about something that you claim you really want, okay, that desire, and maybe do that right now. Close your eyes and think about something that you really, really want. And take a deep breath and feel into that. Feel into the thing that you're wanting as if you already have it, as if it's right there with you. You are in it right now. Take notice what's going on around you. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? Who are the people? Really pay attention in your vision to that. And then open your eyes and pay attention to what your body's saying. Do you feel excited? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel happiness? Do you feel joy? Do you feel, anticipation? Or are you feeling like, oh, yeah, that's nice, but. That's nice, but. So if you've got a that's nice, but, and then blah, 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 blah sensation, you're not in alignment with that desire. It's not there. It's not ready for you. You are not ready to receive it. Your energy is not vibrating in alignment to that desire. Plain and simple. Pick something else. Start small. Start small. Find something else and work your way up. Build your belief. Build up on your desires. And it's not going anywhere. It'll be there when you get your frequency right. It definitely will. And it'll manifest a lot quicker. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there banging your head against the wall and giving yourself more pain and suffering because you're not in alignment. You're trying to force yourself to be in alignment with what you're not in alignment to. There's still shit that you've got to work out in here and in here to get into alignment. So let me see. I got it. Okay. So it is. I'm actually going to. I think I've kind of beat the belief and you have to be kind of on the head a lot this morning. I'm going to thank everybody for getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning again and listening to my belief speech. I want you guys to go practice your superpowers. That's what I really want you to do. I really want you to take that exercise life is for you and run through. I encourage you to write down your top, 5, 6 things that you want to create over the next, say, 90 days. And write this down and then write down what you think your belief is in getting them. So on a scale of 1 to 10, write down, 1, I don't really believe it, or 10, oh hell yeah, I'm going to have that within the next 90 days. And and actually physically write this down. This is not to be done on your phone. It's not to be done on your computer. This needs to be done on a piece of paper with a pen in your hand. Okay, that opens up different channels of your brain. You access different things. Again, this comes back to the way we're being programmed and keeping us as worker bees versus letting ourselves really just create. So I want you to do that. And then once you write down what you think your belief is in it, and then write down 1 to 10 how strong your desire for getting it is. 1 being, I don't really care if I get that, and 10 being, oh my gosh, I have to have it. I just have a strong burning desire. I'm so passionate about it. Write that down and then do the exercise that I gave you here. And take each one and close your eyes and walk yourself into it and feel into it and really pay attention. And then once come out of that meditation, you could call it, that meditation of it, and notice what your body is telling you. Are you, oh my gosh, so excited and positive about it? Or are you doing like, yeah, that was nice, but take notice of that and then kind of just give yourself, starve the ones that you get really excited about, because that's where you need to focus. You've got to focus on those that excite you, not those that are like, yeah, that was nice, but okay. So with that, I am going to close. Again, if anybody wants to connect with me, you can find me at www.kendalwilliams.com. You can message me here on Facebook. You can email me. You can watch all my videos here on YouTube. And if you want more one-on-one coaching from me, yes, I do teach on a whole bunch of different things. I got lots of different options from between some dollar coaching program that I do here on secret groups and Facebook to actually one-on-one coaching over the phone, Zoom, and in my office. But otherwise, you can catch me here tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to go and deal with my babes who are now all waking up and get ready to go to school. I hope you